three universities, three lawsuits going up against Trump that are even better, stronger, and that we can use to reinforce a less fascistic government. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Drop a like, subscribe. You know, I'm very tired. I'm a little bit sick. It's been a long few days. So if you could drop a like, if you could leave some blue bars, if you could subscribe, it would mean the world.
Hi, besties. Today my sister is visiting. Her name is Pazu.
Is a 1971 Di Tommaso Pantera, and it's awesome. It looks absolutely fantastic, beautiful and striking and truly special. It's also thrilling to drive and very rare. And today I'm going to review this Pantera, one of the stars of the 1970s, and show you all its quirks and features.
Cheers, I'm here at the door. Oh, she's here. You can come inside. Okay.
Stranded within the charred remains of the Pacific Palisades neighborhood in Los Angeles,
We look a
one
little
house
like.
that looks like
Look
almost
at
nothing
us.
happened. Before January 2025, this house had
We
alongside
have a bit of
100-year-old
difference
homes
and a
surrounded by
bit
mature
of
trees.
alike.
It was a little unique,
Yep.
even then, but it wasn't a defining feature of the
We
neighborhood.
both
Then
have
the Palisades
bright
fires
hair.
decimating over
We
12,000
both have
buildings,
winking eyes.
$250 billion of destruction in its wake.
Fire began
Now
in
look
Phillips
what's
this year
different.
and was pushed by extreme winds, creating extreme dangerous
My
dynamic
husband
fire.
is home. Besties.
This house was spared. How is that even possible? The flames arrived from the north and the west just a
Welcome
day
to
after
the
the fire began,
Besties
roughly a mile
video.
up the Santa Monica Mountains. The community is nestled between these mountain ridges, officially making it a wildland-urban interface for a
I'm a bestie for you,
here in 1928.
for
That's when the
you,
subdivision was originally
and me.
established. More
A
recently, though,
bestie
the
for
historic
you
homes, mature
and
trees, and
me.
residents with its charm, who paid an incredible premium to live here. Even the most modest homes sold for millions of dollars,
So
like this next door neighbor. But it's also these natural features that made this area incredibly vulnerable to wildfire. On January 7th, as families rushed to get pets and photo albums, almost everything about this neighborhood became a hazard. In the most unexpected ways, yes, the emergency water reservoir happened to be offline for repairs, but even the street played a role in the rapid spread. The neighborhood's elongated shape, it follows the contours of the ridges of the mountains, and the streets of the grid are then rotated to fit the shape of the terrain. When the 100-mile-per-hour winds whipped down the slopes, they funneled straight through these roadways and created tunnels, feeding oxygen to the flames and letting them leak from house to house. The rotated grid also created a series of bottlenecks for evacuating residents, leaving only a few exits. And when these get all clogged, there's absolutely no way for firefighters to be able to get through.
Okay.
But on this line, conditions are quite different. The original mission-style three-bedroom
Hi,
house was placed only a year
besties.
ago by this larger
We're getting
3,400
new
square foot,
clothes
five-bedroom structure that was
for
designed
this
by the
little
architect Greg Chasin
Oi.
for his art professor friend. Many of the design decisions about this house might have seemed a little bit
Awesome.
extreme at the
So
outset, but they proved remarkably
the next
impressive from the fire.
door
But it's
that we
important
go
to remember that those choices,
to
they brought
is
serious
for the
trade-offs
baby
both the
girl.
owners and the neighborhood around them. Those trade-offs, they're difficult to quantify or even really fully appreciate until moments like this, when the house successfully weathered the very scenario that it was
I
designed
like
to
this
withstand.
and
Let's just
this.
compare this new house with the one that stood here before. I know
Bestie.
very few people that would look at the replacement
I like
and applaud it
this
for the
shirt.
loss of the historic.
Okay.
It's
We can take
undeniable
those.
this chart. It doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the
But
neighborhood.
I'm gonna have to pay for
It's
them.
not exactly a place where you want to barbecue with friends. And that's the price just for one property. Nobody wants to tear down an entire historic district just to rebuild it with safer, higher performing homes, even though we know we can do it that way. The challenge then, I think, lies in folding in our knowledge into neighborhoods that are still anchored by existing construction. So let's explore exactly what changed between the old house and the new one on this site, and why those measures work, and what it can mean if more communities adopt the same fire resistant approach.
Get a new
When
one.
surrounded by wildfire, this property and its house face several potential threats. The first comes from the
Pants
danger
don't
of
match.
flame spread. In the older side, rows of bushes were
Good
planted from
idea.
the property's edge right up to against the
I'll hold
house.
on to the
This
bag.
basically provides a highway straight to the house for the fire tunnel. In the new layout, the architect cleared the way of all vegetation to create what's called a defensible space, where they substituted gravel and a border of board-formed concrete that provides fencing.
I'll deal
That way,
with
the
the
flames had
baby
nothing
girl
to latch
stuff.
onto as they approached the area. Next came the risk of intense heat from the neighbor's house, which can actually ignite surrounding structures even if the flames don't reach over. This is called a conflagration. Even though the old home had stucco walls and a clay roof, both of which are pretty good at resisting fire, the house next door had large projecting wood
Nanny
beams. And because the two properties sit so
Mommy?
close together, conflagration is almost guaranteed if nearby structures have a flammable exterior material. In response, the side of this house removed all of its heat. Replace that with a thick, continuous surface that wraps around the entire roofs and sides of the house. It's oriented also to block the winds coming from the north, and it features a metal roof and special underlayment with fire-resistant insulation. This together earned it a Class A flame spread rating, which is about as
I gotta
fireproof
get
as the
to
house
it.
made of concrete. Then there's the issues of
You
how
guys
embers
heard
fly
it.
around and can catch nearby buildings on fire. Research shows that up to 90%
What?
of wildfire destruction to homes starts when airborne embers land on or blow inside of building openings. The old house had a ton of side vents and roof vents and chimneys, all of which are perfect entry points for sparks. Once
I'm going
embers
to
get
work
in, the house
silly.
burns from the inside out. The new structure, on the other hand, it's almost completely sealed with minimal openings. The airtight envelope didn't just prevent the house from catching fire, it also spared the interior from smoke damage that makes other surviving buildings unlivable without major cleanup. Of course, when you seal a home this tight, it also conserves energy. Because the thick, flame-resistant walls can also help maintain interior temperatures and reduce heating and cooling costs. So many of these design decisions that made the building flame-resistant also played multiple
Are you
other
kidding
roles in
me?
the owner's effort
It's
to be responsible.
raining.
Even the choice to seal everything has downsides. It's harder
I
to
was-
enjoy a typical Southern California lifestyle when the windows aren't designed to just be
We were gonna have a
So this approach was
picnic.
incredibly effective
Are you
in a
kidding
wildfire.
me?
It also came with trade-offs for the lifestyle, not just the cute, historic aesthetic flaws. Still, that choice ended up being their best line of defense. That kind of thing is why not everyone builds like this. Well, I mean, in some ways it do. For instance, many of the features on this house meet or exceed the section of the California Building Code that regulates new construction for wildfire exposure. It's called Chapter 7A, and it's 6 pages of requirements that any building built since
Mom,
2008 must
You
comply
don't
with.
control the
So,
weather.
while it applied to this house because it was new, it did not apply to its neighbors.
You're right.
Their non-compliance put this house at risk. So it's not so simple to chalk it up to individual
You could drive
choices.
around here. Police
Even while
patrol.
this neighborhood is rebuilding,
I
some
love my
aspects of its
police
compliance and
patrol.
standards are
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
because after devastating events like this, the assumption is that rebuilding means like for like replacement.
Hi, Auntie
like what was here
Pazu.
before, which I think is a little crazy. What was here before was
I
a
was
problem.
too shy
In
to
this
listen.
instance, current fire
Because
code
I
must
never
be followed,
can
but
say
things like
your
zoning or
house.
distance from neighbors will be the same. Even so, you're listen to the review process in order to expedite the construction with an emergency order. So no matter what, scrutiny on the rebuilt structures will be less stringent than it would be typical.
This,
It's a
what's
complex web
your
of
video
interconnected relationships that keep everyone and their homes safe. Regulation and laws are a piece of that puzzle, but only just a piece. California, it's already
Hello,
so regulated.
besties,
That projects
of
to clear
course.
brush or create fire breaks
Did you
between
forget
neighborhoods often trigger
this?
lengthy reviews under laws like CEQA or the California Environmental
Oh,
Quality Act. and
yeah, I
the Coast
forgot.
Governor Newsom himself said that bureaucratic red tape was slowing down critical forest management projects, leading the state in 2025 to
from our-
temporarily suspend certain
from the
regulations
tree-
to fast-track
tree that we-
wildfire prevention efforts. But in reality,
from the
neighborhoods
trees
shouldn't
that
really
we planted
at all like
as
this. And
kids.
efforts to tighten zoning, for example, to limit new construction in very high fire hazard severity zones often face political pushback due to housing needs and
They're
property rights.
still
There's no
alive.
point expert observed wildfire impact is as much a matter of decisions we make about where and
Yep.
how to build as it is about the hazard itself.
And they
The
still
development in high-risk
grow
areas has
fruit.
continued, largely unabated, for decades. The broader issue is that modern cities are not
I'll take a
originally
lemon. I do
designed
love
with wildfire in
lemons.
mind. And retrofitting communities with fire-resistant infrastructure is a massive undertaking. In Los Angeles,
Who is this cutie pie?
This is serious now. I don't
Lima,
know
and our two cats are outside. They like the kitten loves the rain. The mom is staying inside.
We have to make a change now.
Oh,
Palisades House
the kitten
survived because it
doesn't.
was built by someone who was uniquely committed to a cause. They were ready to sacrifice aesthetics, community conformity, and even
Hang on.
simple pleasures.
I think I'm
like
going to
windows
vomit
on a
in the
sunny day.
bathroom.
Yet on all sides, dozens of charming historic homes,
Real quick.
rich in local history, and
Actually, it's
community
better if I
identity,
vomit
they were
in
wiped away.
the sink.
It is absolutely incredible to me how quickly a problem like this scales up from individual responsibility and decisions up to collective regulation and response. This outcome raises an important question. What is the right approach to balance these pressures between cost, charm, and security, and individual efforts? and
Oh, just play with
collective
yourself
When
for a
should
bit.
communities rebuild radically differently? Or is the cost to our lifestyle and identity just simply too great? If you imagine a neighborhood where each house resembles that lone survivor, it would be unquestionably safer. But would we still feel at home here? Neighborhoods elsewhere have already faced these kinds of decisions. Ventura County's fire-safe guidelines suddenly incorporate wider streets, strategic landscaping, and smarter materials. And these guidelines create neighborhoods that look
Don't catch
they're
me,
highly resistant.
police.
Similarly,
catch
devastating
me.
wildfires in
Don't
Australia in
catch me,
2019
police.
House grappling with blending fire safety into its historic fabric. Residents found creative ways to retain
Don't
local
catch me,
character,
police.
significantly enhancing safety.
Don't catch
So,
me.
it's
I
possible to
haven't
combine this
been
together,
doing it.
tradition
Really?
and the innovation.
You're under
But it's not just about
arrest.
how we build
You're such
individual
a
houses.
cute
Wildfire
cutie.
resilience also demands broader changes in infrastructure, power lines buried underground, strategic water reserves
What?
placed nearby,
Eh.
and roads designed to facilitate both evacuation and firefighting. These
I'm finished.
simple, mundane adjustments, they can mean the difference between survival and total loss, but they often struggle to gain community
I think I'm
support
pretty hungry.
because their impact is not immediately
I'll
visible.
grab some
Also, I think
food.
it's important to keep in mind that these kinds of
Then we
regulations,
got fruit,
they're geared towards
fruit
human
trees.
survivability, not
Yummy.
necessarily the preservation
Dun,
of the
dun,
environment.
dun,
And all of these come with their own
dun, dun,
trade-offs,
dun,
such as
dun.
higher costs and disruptions during construction. Communities must confront
Dun,
whether they're ready to
dun,
accept
dun,
these
dun,
inconveniences
dun,
today
dun, dun,
for a more secure tomorrow.
dun,
Meanwhile,
dun.
planners, they're grappling with even tougher
Dun,
questions
dun,
about
dun.
where we should be building at all. Development in high-risk zones continues because people love living close to nature, and each new house adds to the complexity of keeping everyone safe. Again, personal decisions and how they impact the broader community. This house survived, and my hope is that it fuels broader debates about the discussions that we need to be having.
I'm back.
How do we balance human desires for cohesive historical
You're
aesthetics,
back.
community,
Great.
tradition, and safety?
My sister's
There's
already
plenty of
here.
proof that points at what the issues are and that our latest tools, they work.
The fiber cement cladding that we have all
Do,
around
do,
the
do,
house
do,
is
do, do,
it's
do,
fiber
do,
cement made with
do.
recycled newsprint and a cement binder. It's extremely fire resistant, which has now been proven out.
Oh,
for us.
he's
One thing is for
kind of
certain,
naughty
the next
around me.
wildfire is on its way, and we need to question how dedicated we are to keeping everyone safe. Which means studying the drawings of our buildings and our neighborhoods. Back in those days, they would have been made as blueprints.
Okay,
First technology that allowed
besties.
architects to copy their drawings. The process is
We'll have to do a part
In my
two
next video, I actually make
because
a blueprint from
this
scratch and explain how
video
we
might
can
cut.
change the way that buildings
Take another
You can watch that
day.
video right now, because for this entire year, I'm offering exclusive access to all my videos.
Never mind. I think I changed my mind, besties.
If you only
We
watch
can
on YouTube,
take-
you're missing out on a lot of content that we make on this channel, like exclusive interviews and a behind-the-scenes tour of our new studio space here. Nebula is a streaming service that's operated and owned by the over 200 creators that are on it. We've pooled our resources
The
in order
next
to push
day.
each other to create even better, more ambitious
Hi,
projects
best.
while building one of the
Good
most
morning,
innovative streaming
besties.
platforms out there. Probably already watch a good amount of the creators
We had a
out there.
good breakfast.
City nerd and real engineering, but it's also
My
just a great
sister's
way to
still
discover
here.
new passions. Some of the best stuff comes
She wanted to have an overnight
bigger budgets,
with
less
her
expensive,
family.
brand new ideas. For example, check out News Underexposure. It's some of the most compelling documentary storytelling out there right now. Nebula offers flexible subscription plans, monthly, annual, and yes, even a lifetime option.
It's here.
That means you can pay only once and have access to everything that Nebula ever creates forever. So start by catching that fascinating look into blueprints, supporting us by clicking on the link on the screen or in the description, or just scan the QR code. You'll save 40% off your Nebula subscription with my link and never miss a video again. It only costs $3 a month to
Besties.
sign up for a year. Plus,
I'm
you're right at the heart of the media movement that's
Gonna
changing how
drop
creators
him
and
off at
audiences
daycare.
check it out and
as always, thanks so much for watching.
I mean, I meant preschool. Okay, let's go.
Millionaires, more like stupid-millionaires. It's like I always say, millionaires, millionaires. Just really savage stuff, and I'm ashamed that I
Turn
went that
preschool.
far. You see, something has happened that
Bye, Mom.
changed
Have a great time.
the whole issue. I got an unsolicited DM
Let's
from someone that
play
said, didn't think
in
you
the
were a
train.
political activist, but now I understand your jealousy for Elon. Also, you're Canadian, so I shouldn't be surprised with your soy agenda. What a shame. What if this random internet stranger is right? What if I'm just jealous of Elon because I'm not a billionaire? What if that agenda I bought off eBay is made of soy? This makes it clear what I need to do. I need to become a billionaire, and I know just how to do it. The way that anyone gets anything they want in the world of business. By dressing for the job you want, not the job you have. By emulating the style and way of life of our world's most prominent billionaires, there is no way I will not join
I'll
their
order,
ranks.
huh?
But here's the thing,
Dun.
I cracked the code even further. Because what does
That's
every
ice
big
cream
many
flavored.
multi-billion-dollar
Yum.
billion dollars have in common? They undergo some kind of major makeover once they're already rich. So with undeniable logic at work,
free
if I dress like them after they have their makeovers,
free
I'll basically be on an
scissors.
express lane to wealth, and the money will just start flowing in from everywhere. That's too much money. Well, and with that, I can stop being a jealous little
Without
Canadian
fish.
baby with a tofu-based tank. Feel free to follow along at home if you want to become a billionaire too. I assume it's going to be super easy, barely not even difficult at all.
Yummy, yummy, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum.
40 years old,
Num, 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 num,
Mark's
num, num,
5
num,
years older than
num,
me,
num,
so
num.
this feels attainable. For me, 5 years apart, we're basically the same person already. I mean, if you think about it, when I was in diapers, he was
Okay,
just turning 20. I wore
besties.
diapers for
I
too
gotta
long,
go
maybe, but that's
now.
not what this
Bye
means. Now, I
bye.
don't know about you, but I don't really have
How
the
do we
time to
stop
build
this
a
thing?
website that's overrun with AI pictures of shrimp Jesus, but I think that's okay. Ask yourself, what's the first thing you think of when you think of Zuckerberg? Boring, tired, pale, unblinking, hoodie? No, wrong. That's the old Mark Zuckerberg. You got that wrong with all those things you just said. We're gonna emulate new